All right. This video is going to be more like a relaxed storytelling session, and it's a true story, not a fake story. And why is it that I want to tell you this story? Is because this is one part of my life that changed everything, every single thing. From being a guy who lived in his comfort zone, who was earning a nice, comfortable salary. Um, I could say that I made the big mistake of believing the person I trusted the most, ended up getting betrayed, ended up literally getting on the streets. And because I made that decision to change my life, get out of my comfort zone, everything went haywire so badly. And that was how I bumped into the guy who did the fake degrees. And that is how I landed in India. That is how I ended up doing this coaching business. And that is how my brand was finally made. So it all started with this one particular incident. So I'm going to share this with you. Now, right off the bat, I want to tell you that it's going to be a very relaxed storytelling session. So if you're looking at the screen, there's nothing that you're going to get. You're just going to get me sitting here talking to you. So I would suggest listen to this when you're driving or when you're doing exercise or when you're cleaning or when you're cooking. You'll enjoy it much more. There's nothing to see on the screen, but I can definitely assure you there are a lot of words of wisdom in this, from the risks that you will have to face, the price you'll have to pay, especially when you want to change your life. And, they always say, dare to dream and get out of your comfort zone. It all sounds nice, but there is a big price to pay, especially if you fail. And I failed in so many levels that it was unbelievable. So I'm going to do my best to share this story. Um, Remember, it's not going to be bullet points. It's going to be just going with the flow. So I'm just going to relax and talk to you. Just listen to it, and I hope it adds value. And yeah, if you do watch the video till the end, that's the only favor I ask of you, is just mention that you listened to the video till the end. That's the only thing I ask. It makes me happy to know that something that I was able to share, you listen to it, and I hope it helps you. But yes, these are real life incidents, and the values that you'll get from this story can maybe change your life. Okay. Um, the point of the story starts when I finished working in this company. Its name is Quick Electric. And by the way, before I even go further, I'm not going. The names that I take are all the real names, but it's not me bad mouthing them. The whole story, the fault is mine. I'll be very honest with you. The whole story, the fault is mine. So even if you Google search these names, they are not bad individuals. They're not bad people. It's all my fault. I'm not saying out of humility. I'm telling you facts. Okay. So the story starts after I've worked in this company, Quick Electric, which was based in Sharjah. It was a switchgear company, and the person I was working for was also my mentor. His name was Gabriel D'Souza. But the problem was, he gave me a comfortable job. He gave me a comfortable salary. He gave me a Lexus RX 330. He gave me accommodation that was free. He gave me food allowance. He gave me everything that I needed. The only thing I had to do was focus on marketing, focus on, introducing the company, meet decision makers, do more of the branding bit. But for the money that he was paying me and for the benefits I was receiving, I'm telling you today, I don't think I was worth, because, end of the day, any business, it's all about sales. It's not that I didn't give him any bit of value, but you could definitely say I was not in that phase of my life where I was taking my work seriously. Okay. Out of 100%, you could say I was putting 30 to 40%. That's about it. Okay. So, but that man, he was so patient with me. I'll tell you this, even my own father, if I had a loving father, he wouldn't have been so patient as this man. But now here what happened is he was the type, he wouldn't terminate me, he wouldn't put me on the streets because he knew that I was just too distracted. I was in my 30s, I was a playboy, I was just enjoying my life. I just wanted to have fun. I was taking steroids, I was big. And if he would throw me out, I don't know where I would go. But here's the problem. When you are ambitious, when you are the type that I was, that is always reading books, listening to, uh, you know, inspirational stuff. YouTube didn't start podcasts those days. We just had some motivational videos here and there. So, my passion, the thing that really drove me like, wow, crazy, was public speaking. I love speaking on stage. I love people looking at me. I love the attention. Okay. It was more like YouTube, but in real life. And I love training people. I love giving speeches. I was part of Toastmasters. I was always winning one trophy or another. All these boxes that you see up there, no, sometimes in my video, more than 800 trophies. So I used to think no end of myself. And yes, girls used to listen to me speak. They were like fascinated with me. So, it was adding to the temptation. Men, decision makers, CEOs, directors of companies, they would hear me speak and they were like, wow, this guy is amazing. And that opened up a lot of opportunities to anchor events and earn extra money at the side. Okay, so I was enjoying all the attention, all the girls, all the fun. I was being called to five-star hotels to give presentations. So comfortable life. But majority of the day I had to spend with this switchgear factory. And I was selling a product, means marketing and selling a product, which was, these electrical big boxes. They call it what? Main distribution boards, MDBs and all that, SMDBs, sub main distribution boards, all electrical stuff. He used to manufacture them. So it was not my passion. It was like I was marketing and selling things that I didn't have any interest. Electrical, electrical engineer. And I was really not interested in that. I like the meeting of, decision makers. I like the selling bit, little bit. But my passion was public speaking, training, doing shows, events. So after 6 years of being a lazy bum and enjoying a comfortable salary and big car and girls and all that, it kept bugging me that when will I, do something that I'm passionate about? And this owner, he was really a gem of a guy. His name is Gabriel D'Souza. Because he gave me the freedom to do these shows in the evening, any other UAE employer wouldn't have done that. He used to allow me to go do shows in the evenings and make some extra money, get publicity, whatever. So I got carried away. This is the problem. Sometimes when you enjoy the girls, the attention, the fame, the praise, everyone's kissing your ass, it goes to your head. And it went to my head. And I started asking myself, instead of working for this job and which is boring, here I'm a superstar where, I stand on the stage and people are sitting down and I'm talking. Why don't I take up a job that involves training and speaking and being on stage and being the superstar? It just went to my head. Little did I know that even if you're an announcer, you're not a superstar. You're just an announcer. Even if you're a radio jockey, you're not a superstar. You're just a voice. Even movie stars, when they star in a movie and it becomes a hit, it goes to their head and they think, I'm a superstar today. Little do people know that you just starred in one movie. People just look at you as an entertainment. And their loyalty is very fickle. That is why you can be a superstar for 10 years, mega star, but when someone else new comes, they will just dump your ass and go for the next one. Even if, especially with females, you can be hot and beautiful today. Like this female, you can Google search. Her name is Nelly Furtado. Nearly 20 years ago, she was like 20 or 25 years ago. She was so slim and beautiful and she had so many hits. And now she has made a comeback after having 4 children, a bitter divorce. And now she's like so big and people are making fun of her. So that's how the world is. Where as long as you're famous and as long as you're a big hit, everyone will kiss your ass. Like, I'm pretty sure some of you do not even know who's Nicolas Cage. Once upon a time, he was a hotter star. Uh, Check any star of the yesteryears. Today, people don't even give a damn about them. Like Bret, the Hitman Hart, WWE wrestler. In his heydays, people were crazy about him. They were mad. Today, he's nearly in his 70s. People are making fun of him. So, anyway, I used to think I'm a superstar. It used to go to my head, especially when girls, these young girls who are in their 20s, wow. And, it was easy to have fun with them. Come, let's go spend time in my car, or spend time in this nice little room, the temptations. Okay. So I got carried away and I started, without informing my boss or my mentor, I started searching for jobs where they needed a trainer, where they needed an MC for events and all that. And as I was already into doing events, I started to get offers. People would say, come down, let's talk. Here's the mistake that I made. I was thinking that they are going to give me a job to be a superstar. They are going to give me a job so that I get all the attention, I get the focus, I will be famous. It was me, 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 me. My immature brain at that time didn't think that the reason why they are going to give me a job as a trainer, as MC on stage or announcer, is because they are looking at business revenue. Means if I employ Loy Machedo, I pay him 10,000 dirhams. Can he bring me 100,000 dirhams? Can he bring me sponsors? Can he bring me clients? Can he bring me people who will sign and say, fine, we will take Loy Machedo, we will pay 100,000 for training contract. Let Loy Machedo train us. I, like a fool, seriously, I, like a fool, thought I will go and give speeches and I'll get paid money and I'll be famous. I didn't think of the business side, that if they're paying me a salary, I have to recover that from the market. That is the first biggest mistake that I made. And so I started to go around and I started to get plenty of job offers because of this communication, or rather understanding, gap. They were thinking Loy Machedo is going to join us to bring us more business. I was thinking they are giving me a job to make me famous. They are going to give me, like, I didn't care whether your event was a success or failure. I'll stand there on stage, I'll be famous. And with that, as I started, I told you I was doing Toastmaster speeches. My mentor in public speaking that time was Royston Fernandez. He is a Goan who is now, I think, retired in Australia. He must be 60s or 70s. So this guy, he was the one who introduced me to Toastmasters. Okay. Amazing human being. He was one of those speakers who didn't do all the gimmicks. He was more like a Martin Luther King. He had content. Okay. Very mature man. So when he came to know that I was searching for a job as a trainer, training people, conducting events and all that, he was working as a general manager for Lobo Management. Lobo Management is a recruitment company. Their name is still there in Dubai, UAE. They are based in the World Trade Center. I don't know if it is the same owner. I don't remember their names. I think it was the Lobo. They were even older people. I think they were in their 70s or 80s, like, old. They must be 70s or 80s now. So they were running this recruitment company, consulting company, for nearly 30 years. They were the old OGs, the old timers who came to Dubai in their 70s and 80s. And they had an office in the World Trade Center, which was very prestigious because in the World Trade Center, something that you may not know, in UAE, the first, biggest, most famous landmark was the World Trade Center. You can Google search. In the 70s and 80s, there was only one very tall building, and that was the World Trade Center. And they had to pay a royalty to the Twin Towers of USA to use that name, World Trade Center. Okay. So it was only one building those days. Sheikh Zayed Road was not developed. All those big, grandiose skyscrapers, nothing was there. There was no Burj Khalifa. Forget Burj Khalifa. There were no tall buildings. That was the only one. So they had an office there. That means they really paid a very high premium, and they were dealing with, kind of premium clients. They must have had AAA companies. And remember, those days in the Middle East, whites used to get very big salaries. Emiratis first, whites second. Then, there was that racist salary protocol based on your nationality, color of your skin, or the passport. It was a normal thing those days until, Dubai became an international hub and they found out, oh, this is racism. Oh, it's not looked upon favorably. Even today, there's a difference in the salary based on your passport. If you're American or Canadian or Australian, you get much more higher than if you're an Indian or Bangladeshi or Pakistani. It goes lower. Anyway, that's a different story for another day. So they had premium clients, they had premium companies, but as times changed from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, many more competitors came up, many more companies came up. So they were no longer the monopoly. So obviously, they were looking for ways and means to increase their revenue. So when Royston Fernandez, that person who introduced me to Toastmasters, who was the GM, Royston Fernandez was a GM of Lobo Management. He told me, I'll introduce you to the owners of the company and let's see what happens. Okay, fine. I was very keen on that because he was my mentor in public speaking. So I thought, maybe he'll guide me also in that job process. And, you know, he spoke very favorably about me. I was asked to give a presentation. I gave my best PowerPoint presentation to the owners, the husband and wife, who are the owners, I think CEOs. And they were impressed with my presentation. But little did I know that, yes, they were interested in my presentation. They were very impressed. But they saw zero, okay, listen carefully, they saw zero game plan how I would get money. Because let's say you employ me as a trainer. I've told you that I will conduct this amazing training, I'll do this amazing workshop. And if you invest in me and send me for more certifications, I will, make Lobo management famous, so to speak. But I didn't answer the question, how would I get customers to pay you? How would I get revenue from the market? I never answered that. So when they said, very impressive, we are impressed, or this is a very good job, and they told Royston, wow, that guy speaks very well, he's very smart, he'll definitely be a great addition to the team. They said it verbally. Now they told him he would be a great addition to our team. He told me, Loy, they're very impressed with you, and most probably they might have a job offer for you. Owner told Royston, he's impressed. Royston told me, they are super impressed. And in my head, I was ultra impressed. Like, I was like, oh, wow. And somewhere in that communication, I think I don't know who made the mistake, but I assumed they offered me a job. To this date, I do not know who made that mistake. I don't know whether they told Royston, yeah, we'll give him a job, we'll drop a contract, he'll be paid XYZ. And I had even suggested, instead of manager, give me the position director so I can go to companies. Your designation has weightage. And I also pitched in that you pay for my training, I'll sign a bond with you that I'll not leave. Like Emirates Airlines has this process where if you sign a bond, you're tied up with them for 5 years. They will send you for extra certifications, but you have to sign 2-year, 5-year bond. You can't leave them. After the bond is expired, then you can get another job, or take another bond, get more certified, more certifications, and your value increases. So I told them all this. They told Royston, okay, let's, we'll prepare the contract for the job offer. Royston told me, or at least that's what I understood, they are preparing the job offer or you have a guaranteed job offer. I, in my excitement, I should have verified. I should have asked them, can you show me something in writing? I didn't bother. I was so immature. I assumed I got the job. And then I went to my mentor, Gabriel D'Souza of that switchgear company, and I told him that I found a job. I would like to resign. I can tell you without a doubt that he must have felt very sad, even though I was a useless bum for him. Even though I was of no benefit, he was such an amazing human being that I could feel that he was upset, but he was a type he would never prevent me from going, chasing my dreams or going for what I was passionate about. I was by far the biggest investment mistake that he made. He assumed that I would stay with him for long term. Well, unfortunately, I was a failure, which I knew, he knew, everyone knew, but I was comfortably earning a salary. What the hell? So remember, I took this decision to chase my dream, to do what I loved, without being practical on the revenue side. Okay. So now he has told me, you have a job. I have assumed that I've guaranteed I have a job. And I informed my now old employer, you can cancel my visa. So, well, he said, okay, fine. You sure you got the job? I said, yes. Okay. So he told me this is going to be the last month. Okay. And, I'll give you everything that is owed to you. So just make the necessary arrangements to give back the car, any company property that you have, and you can go. I, like a fool, assumed that I had the contract ready for me. I said goodbye to my, the place where I was staying. It was in my name. I said goodbye to them. I signed the papers for resigning from the company. I found out a new house in Dubai, searched for a new house. Okay. I didn't sign the contract there. I had another friend who said, you can come and stay with us for a few days and then you can shift to the new house. Okay. All my stuff, you can imagine how many shelves I have. I got a mover, got all the stuff put into a truck, and month end, everything I took and shifted to Dubai. Remember, in UAE, if you don't have a visa, if your visa is cancelled, you can't stay in the country. You have 30 days. Those days, I'm talking of nearly, how many? 20 years ago. That was the kind of rule. If you didn't have a job, you didn't have a visa, you have to leave the country. Okay. So now I'm leaving Sharjah, where I was staying, and 50, 60 kilometers going to this new friend's house. I'll be staying there temporary, taking all my stuff. And I'm waiting to sign the contract with the new company. And then I will sign the contract for the new house and start my new job. That was the plan. So I take all my stuff. I go to Dubai in the night. That friend was very happy. Hey, you stay with us. Most of the stuff that was there, he said there is, the watchman has a spare warehouse kind of a room. You can put all your stuff. It was all in boxes. Okay. And once I went there, I was relaxed, sitting in the hall. My friend was there. And then I called Royston. I called him up and said, hey, Royston, how are you? Hey, Loy, how's it? And okay, everything happy. We all are excited. So I told him, okay, so when can I join? When is the joining date? Because, month end, first week or whatever. He said, Loy, I'll just get back to you. I'll speak to the owner and get back to you. When can you officially start? Okay. I said, bye. He said, bye. He said he'll call me back. After half an hour, Yeah, I was sitting, relaxing on the sofa. Hey, Royston. Yeah. And I said, so tell me, when do we start? And that time, Royston said one sentence. And that sentence that he said, I'll tell you, my heart stopped beating. In fact, you could say that my heart just fell down from my chest. It just fell on the floor. All he said was, Loy, his tone was different. It was not happy, hyper. He said, Loy, did Lobo, that is the owner of the company, did Lobo give you something in writing? The minute he said that, or the second he said that, I'll tell you, the world stopped revolving. And immediately, like 1 + 1 + 1, suddenly the information just blasted through my head. And I was like, oh shit, did he give me something in writing? That means they have not confirmed the job. That means I don't have a job. That means I will not have a visa. That means I'll not have a place to stay. Like a domino effect, I could literally see where this was headed. So I said, Royston, what do you mean? Did you give me anything in writing? I mean, you told me that I had the job. I took your word for it. I resigned from my company. I've been updating you. And by the way, I was updating you all the while that I was resigning from my job. I was saying goodbye. And he was under the impression that Lobo said yes. And him and me were talking like as if I already had the job. He himself was under the false assumption that the job was confirmed. And when the owner told him, I never give anything in writing. Who the hell asked you to confirm with him? He understood where his mistake. And obviously, he can't tell me that it is his mistake. And then he put the blame on me because he asked me, Loy, did someone give you anything in writing? Like, he took the monkey off his back and put it on mine. And like I said, I'm not blaming him. I'm not bad mouthing him. It was purely my fault. It's my responsibility. And when he said, do you have anything in writing? I was like, completely, oh, fuck. And then I told him, Royston, please, Royston, I'll be nowhere. I'll be on the streets. I have said goodbye to my old company. I've said goodbye to the house. I don't have a house. I don't have a place to stay. My visa is going to be cancelled. I put all my trust in you. At least tell him to give me a chance. Probation, let him give me a shot. Let him give me a trial. And then, at least give me some time to prove myself. He understood that I was panicking and he said, okay, Roy, relax. I'll just talk to him and see what can be done. And I'll tell you, I was scared was understatement, man. And I was just, clutching my fingers and my hands and my face. And after, I think, 20 minutes or so, he called me back. I think the owner must have blasted him because he must have told him, see, listen, we never gave him anything in writing. We just said that he was good. We never offered anything in writing. And owner must have told him, did you, give him any false hopes and all that? Obviously, he'll say no, right? So then Royston, he told me, Loy, I'm sorry, but the owner says, it is not his fault. It is not his responsibility. You're the one who took all these decisions. You should have waited for something in writing. And now, though, we can't do anything. And I was like, Royston, can you please do something? He said, Loy, I've done my best. And then, just to keep me happy, he said, Loy, I'm not going to promise you anything. I'll try, but I can't promise you anything, Loy. I really don't know what to say. And then once again, I begged him, literally pleaded, please speak to them. And he said he'll try, whatever. And I waited for another 1 hour. And then he called me again. I think this time the owner must have given him a earful, or maybe he was just trying to, tell me that he spoke, but he knew that nothing could be done. He said, Loy, I'm sorry, nothing can be done. And now I'm in a situation where I didn't have a job. I had a job, comfortable job. Now I don't have a job. I had a place to stay. Now I don't have a place to stay. And what was promised to me, or what I assumed was promised to me, nothing. And I'll tell you, that was the beginning of one of the worst phases of my life, where I literally I was on the streets, literally on the streets. Because even this guy who gave me the place to stay, I couldn't stay with him forever. At some point, he also got fed up and he wanted me to leave. The guy who used to admire me, he told me, "You can't stay here, man. Come on." You know? Ah, and then even the people who used to tell me, "Loy, my house is open for you. You can come and stay anytime." One by one, everyone shut their doors. Mm. Like I say, no, when you don't have money, you don't have power, you don't have anything, nobody gives a damn. I was on the streets, man. Anyway, so what is the lesson that I want to share with you? I know you would like to know how did I get out of this. If you're interested to know that part, you can just comment below. I'll share with you what happened after that. But for now, I'll give you a couple of lessons that you should keep in mind. Number one is don't do business with the people you're close to. Never do business with the people you're close to. It will never work. It didn't work with my mentor who was patient with me. I'm telling you, I can be considered his biggest loss, even though he'll never say it, but I know it. I believed Royston, who was close to me. It didn't work out. Um, I stayed believing another guy, at his place. It didn't work out. So never do business or have money with people who you're close to. It'll just break everything. It'll destroy the relationship. That's number one. Number two is it's better you do not work with a mom and pop business or a husband and wife because it's a family business. They can change their tune. Like 1 minute they were super happy, hyper with me. Next minute I was a big mistake for them. They can change their mind. And number three is if it is not in writing, a legal document, then it doesn't mean anything. Okay? That is very, very important. You must take it in writing and it has to be stamped and signed and legally authorized or notarized or whatever. If it is not a legal document, it is jack shit. You can't do anything. If you have something legal, at least you can take them to court. The next point is eh, any business that you join, whatever salary they pay you, they are expecting 100x return for them. Do not join any business if you cannot explicitly explain or prove how you will give them revenue. And like I always say, if something is too good to be true, it's generally the case. This was supposed to be my dream. I, like a fool, fell for it thinking, oh, too good to be true. It was the case. And don't get carried away with your emotions. I got carried away with my emotions. Happy, happy, hyper. I didn't even ask myself, what if I fail? What if this whole deal was a mistake? Don't be so madly in love with someone or with any opportunity that you do not see the drawback. In fact, I should have asked myself, what if this job, they withdraw the offer? That would have brought in fear. And if you believe that you'll just succeed, you'll never fail, that is, you should always think you'll fail. Always think you'll fail. Um, think there's a 90% chance you'll fail, yeah, boss. You know? And yeah, the last, if not the least, the final thing which I'll tell you is when you're deciding to get out of your comfort zone or you plan to make a change in your life, make sure you have at least 2 years worth of income, 2 years as savings. This is another mistake that I made. I just had 2 or 3 months of savings, which fizzled off like this. You should have at least 2 to 3 years salary, where even if you lose your job, no problem. And this is not for business. Huh? Business, you lose everything. You lose 10 times more. So yeah, it destroyed everything. But this was the beginning of me getting out of the comfort zone and one of the most painful lessons of my life. Um, I'm not angry with Royston. I'm not angry with Lobo. It's not their fault. It is totally mine. In fact, I feel bad for my old employer. When I think of it, I was of zero benefit to him. And a good man. And he spent millions over me, thinking that I would fit into his vision, but I had my own calling in life. Anyway, I hope you got something of value from this story. And if you have heard this, if you have listened to this right up to the end, let me know what are your thoughts. And if you would like to know what happened after this, if you're interested, I don't mind making part two of this. All right. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free. Comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care. Yalla.